Hi. Um, Sorry about the way I look. This is the best it's gonna get when I'm sitting inside working all day. Not 3 minutes ago, I was working on a book contract. Talked with the author today. She's like, "Yeah, let's do it," and I'm like, "All right." And I'm putting together this contract, and I don't have very much more to do on it. Whatever. But I get a voice in my head that says, "You need to go for a walk." I'm like, "Oh, well, can I just finish? I'm just going to finish this contract." And the voice said, "No, you're going for a walk." Okay. So it's not going to be a very long walk between my knees and the fact that it's going to be dark out here pretty darn soon. The sun is setting. Anyway, but tonight is the eve of. Tonight is March 11th. And tonight is the eve that I face this way, which for you guys, this is what I'm looking at. Well, not them particularly, but that direction towards Yuma. Anyway, March 11th. Tonight is the eve of the day that Fred died. The weather's much nicer, I'll tell you that much. Last year it was 40s and 50s and raining and blowing, and it was just gross. It was just gross. And then, of course, it got worse. But, yeah, this voice in my head said, "No, you're going to go for a walk now." And I'm like, "But I just have a little more to go." And the voice is like, "Go outside." Fine, I'll go outside. All my different voices that talk to me. Actually, really, the only voice that ever really talks to me is Fred. And I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll go outside." So my contract is sitting there still open on the computer and halfway filled out. I'm going to guess that March 11th last year, 2025, was the 1 week mark that he went back into the hospital ICU with the COVID that he had contracted at the assisted living home that he was living at in Yuma, rehabilitating and learning how to walk again and all that. I mean, he knew how to walk, but the muscle buildup, because he had spent the better part of a month in the hospital laying around because he couldn't move because of his heart and the lack of oxygen he was getting. And anyway, so he went back in March 4th, 2025, and I would imagine a week later, on March 11th, which would have been Tuesday of last year, they said, "Hey, you've been here for a week and it's not getting any better." And I'm sure they probably said we could intubate you, but that's not going to make, he called it, and rightly so. I mean, he was not in the health to be able to be around. Actually, I'm going to show you the mountains behind me. Aren't those pretty? But and quite frankly, and I've said this too, I'm really happy. I tell him this damn near every day. I'm really happy you're not here to have to put up with the BS that's going on right now. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, today is March 11th, and tomorrow I've told all of my clients, everyone, that March 12th I am there's a truck right there. March 12th I am clocking out for the day. No work, no nothing. He tells me that I need to slow down and take time for myself. Well, these days you gotta work. And if I have work to do, that's pretty good these days because not a lot of people have a lot of work to do. So, anyway, tomorrow I am going to sit down and in a lawn chair, preferably under some trees because it's going to be hot, and I'm going to stare into the abyss. It was one of our favorite things to do. We were very good at staring into the abyss together. It was usually staring off into Mexico or staring into the imperial sand dunes, or, oh, we love staring at sunsets. He told me that he's in every sunset. In reality, he's probably standing right next to me. It's been a year. It's been an interesting year of clarifying and learning things, figuring out what I thought and how it all came together and such, between life here on Earth and, not to get woo-woo on all of you guys, but the fact that we're all energy. We're energy. That's all it is. And the connection I still have with him, even though he is not in this realm. He is truly amazing. The other thing I am actually working on, and why I laugh and all that, I'm working on a book. I started documenting on March 18th, 6 days after he passed. It was easy enough for me to remember what had happened March 12th through the 17th, so I filled in that stuff. Anyway, but things have happened there, and I'm so glad I documented it. And I'm sorry, I'm just having end of day. Yeah, I had a lot of stuff. But I'm glad I documented it, and watching the sun. I was about to say sunrise. I don't think so. Sunset. There it is. But anyway, I documented everything, and it's been great. I'm glad I did it, because there have been things that have happened that, oh my God, the proof that he's with me all the time. The reason I laugh is because he's helped me locate a cantaloupe and a bag of chips in my RV. Yeah, that's in the book. Anyway, so I'm writing a book. I was doing all this documenting, and I wanted to write everything down because I didn't want to forget him and all the things we did together, and just all of it. I mean, he's just, like I used to tell him, I'm not blowing sunshine up your ass, but and it says in the book why I used to say that to him too. But so many things happened, and I started documenting so I didn't forget. And as a publisher, and of course also as a published writer, my business wants to write a book, because that's what I do. I mean, that's what I do. And the Kirsten, in the relationship that Kirsten and Fred had, is like, no, I don't want to, I don't want to put this out there and try to make money off of it. That's not my goal at all. I respect him way too much. And clearly I love him way too much. Anyway, it wasn't until about October, the end of October, I got this feeling that, no, you should really write a book and publish it. And I'm like, no. Whose bad idea is that coming up with? Well, in January, and this is also in the book, but the short version, in January, through a friend of mine, told me, channeled, and voice to voice talking with Fred, he's like, publish the book. And I'm like, but I don't want to have it be seen as like I'm a moneymaker off of something, And he goes, publish the damn book. Okay, so we're going to publish the damn book, I guess. So I started kind of working on it. Well, I've been working on it on and off for about, I don't know, a month or so, month and a half, compiling everything. I'm still seriously at the rough draft end of things. But, sorry. Never mind. It's March 11th. Just go with it. Anyway, so I started working on and off on it, and I worked on it a couple of, maybe a day or so this week, like Monday maybe, and today is Wednesday. Worked on it a few hours today, and then I'm going to sit and stare into the abyss tomorrow, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and on I'll be working on it. I was hoping to have it all put together by tomorrow, but work, so that didn't work. So I'm gonna be putting it together, and I'm gonna do my damnedest to get it out by his birthday, which is June 25th. Might miss that mark, because of work, but I am working on it. And this Friday, actually, I'm meeting with my friend, and I've told my mom and me that if I don't work on it and get a good number of pages done, I have a feeling I'm going to get an earful on Friday when I meet with my friend who can channel Fred. This has been this whole year. It has been an incredible journey. I've done a lot of, not so much shadow work, but grappling with what happened last year and prior. It wasn't always rosy, fluffy unicorn stuff. No, it wasn't. I just want to get everything documented down and written out, and I don't want to forget anything. I'm doing our relationship an honor. I'm doing Fred, obviously. I want to honor him. Tomorrow's going to be shit. Tomorrow's going to be real tough. That's why I say I'm not even going to be thinking straight. I've been prepping for tomorrow for a year. I never knew I could hate a date so much. I hate March 12th. Yeah. It's nice to be out here for a walk. If it was truly Fred telling me to get my butt outside and go for a walk, here I am. That's much nicer than it was last year. Last year just sucked. It was 40, 50 degrees and blowing and raining and gray and cold, and you sit there and wonder, why in the hell am I in Arizona? I mean, except that I'm not sitting in a snowbank, so there is that positive. But last year, March 11th last year, was just an ongoing day of growing dread, and I had no idea why. I had no idea. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, it looks like crap outside, but do I need to feel like crap inside too, Well, I didn't realize it, but I was mirroring him, and I had actually been mirroring him since probably November of 24, when he showed back up to quartzite. Apparently with him, I was very empathic. And anyway, March 11th, awful day. But March 12th, I woke up, I was literally hollow. And I'm like, you know how you can just sit there and, just sit there and you're like, oh yeah, I got a stomach, I feel my stomach, I feel my rib cage, that kind of thing. Last March 12th, 25, there was nothing. There was nothing inside my body. Well, I was mirroring him. He was so doped up on morphine and his system was shutting down, and there you go. And I didn't know until about 4:30, 5 o'clock on March 12th when he got on, about 4:30, got on with his last Where's Fred Now adventure onto a Facebook Live video, which, by the way, I showed him how to do Facebook Live beginning at 24. But anyway, he got on and shared that he was going to wait for his brother Ray to show up, who was flying in from Alaska, and take care of some last minute things. And then all he had to do was pull that nose oxygen thing out of his nose, and that would be it. And that happened. He got on at about 4:30. I want to say Ray probably arrived at about 5:30. They did some last minute things. Machines were disconnected. He was now officially on comfort care, which is probably a morphine drip. And yeah, I'm gonna guess, I think he disconnected around 6:20, maybe 6:25, 6:15, something like that. But I think it was posted, if memory serves, the comfort care started about 6:25, so morphine drip, whatever it is. And it was about that time, actually, a little before it. I was on the phone with my daughter, and it was getting dark out, and that whole day was gray and cold and blowing. Just my RV was rocking all day, and it was awful. It was cold and it was icky and yuck. And a little prior, probably about 6:20 or so, I was, like I said, on the phone with my daughter, and I looked outside. I'm like, hey, Chelsea, my daughter Chelsea. I said, hey, Chelsea, I'm gonna pull the solar panels in. I don't need them blowing away, and they're not charging anything right now, so just hold on. She's like, okay. And I put them in, but that voice in my head said, you should stay outside. Now, I'm going to preempt that. The morning of the 12th, when I woke up and I was hollow, again, a voice in me was like, go outside. And I looked out the window and I'm like, are you serious? It's cold and it's icky and it's gross and it's gray and it's raining. No. So I stayed inside all day. And I worked on my stupid printer that still doesn't work, but whatever. So that night, after this all went down, I heard a voice in my head again saying, go outside, stay outside. Okay. And I reached back in. I told my daughter, hey, I'll call you back. I got to stay outside for a moment. She goes, okay. Put the solar panels inside and everything. And I stood, matter of fact, I'll show you, right there, between those two RVs, down by a little closer to the wash. And I stood on the front corner of my rug, the outdoor rug, up by the front of the RV. And I started, because in that direction is Yuma. Yuma's 95 miles away. And I started talking to him. And I won't go into the whole thing. It's in the book. But I eventually wound up shouting 95 miles away towards Yuma that I love you, Fred. The over-analytical part of me was like, why are you doing this? Like, he's not going to hear you 95 miles away. I mean, get your ass back inside. You know, you got work to do and blah, blah, blah. And I'm still standing here, up and walking right over there, facing that direction, yelling at him about what a incredible person he is and how much I'm going to miss him and how much I love him. It's been so tomorrow I have it all written in the book. I gotta tell you, this is a hell of a book to write because I'm writing it through tears. I have constant tears in my eyes. I don't have great vision to begin with. Throw in tears, and I go through more rolls of toilet paper with crying and wiping my nose. Tomorrow I'm gonna clock out for the day. I'm not gonna turn on my computer. Probably not gonna start my phone. Yeah, there goes another tear down. I have the cleanest tear ducts around. I cried pretty much every day. I've gotten better, believe it or not. A year ago, I was a sobbing lump of goo on the desert floor. I've gotten better. Anyway, this, I didn't want to be here yesterday through, the 10th through the 14th. I didn't want to be here. Things, of course, on the schedule has changed. Gas prices, I'm not going anywhere for fun, that's for sure. And, yeah. I didn't want to be here, but I am here. So tomorrow, I'm just going to clock out. And, if I can write, great. No promises. But I'm going to write some tonight. And I'll write again Friday afternoon when I get home, and then Saturday and Sunday. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Well, there's the sunset. Right back there. I'm sorry I keep doing that. It just, I think I have a canker sore coming in. That just bothers me. So, you have to futz with it all the time. Of course, that probably won't make it any better, but I've gotten better. I really have. I've gotten better. I miss him. I mean, he's with me, so come lean against the car. He's with me. He's probably standing right next to me going, what? But I miss him in this physical realm. So I tell him every day. In the physical realm. Just to sit next to him. Just to be near him in case we're going to have a conversation. If we don't have a conversation, that's okay. I'm totally good with it. To sit quietly and stare into the abyss, I'm pretty good at it. man, out of all of this, my advice to everyone is don't let unsaid things remain unsaid. Share your feelings, share your truths, no matter what kind of a result it might be. Good Lord, don't assume things, and I usually say that, but there were a lot of things that I assumed based on things that I saw and learned and heard and all that kind of thing, and he didn't rebuke it. I mean, I had no idea. There's a lot of things I had no idea about. So I based my assumption on what I knew, on stuff that he didn't clarify with me, that he didn't tell me. And I understand now why he didn't tell me these things and why he was quiet and why a lot of things, why I have my answers. And I go round and round in my head with it. And when could I have figured it out? I mean, my over-analytical kicks in, you know? And then the philosophical end of me is like, well, sometimes, Kirsty, you just have to accept it. So then I'm like, oh my God, I'm a control freak. And I want to take on the universe, you know? Meet me in the parking lot at 5 o'clock, you know? And, here, I gotta look at something. Oh. My eyes have been bothering me today, besides the fact that, you know, I tear up at any moment's notice. It's been a year. It's been a year chronologically, and it's been a year of a lot of working through stuff. I have still a lot to work through. I get my answers. And I have to accept it. I mean, obviously, I could meet the universe in the parking lot at 5 o'clock, but really, what the hell is that going to make a difference? I've got to get little bugs out here. I got to keep walking to keep the bugs off me. Yeah, it's not going to make a difference. He's not coming back. Not in this physical realm. Not in this time. Something I can't control. And yes, I've always known I'm a bit of a control freak because, you know, I've had a lot of responsibility placed on me throughout my life. So, you know, you kind of become the person who gets the shit done, you know. But this control freak, I can't fix this. He's not coming back in this realm physically. God damn it, I miss him. Anyway, thank you for coming with me on my walk. I know I can't shut up about him. I couldn't shut up about him when I first met him. I apparently can't shut up about him to this date. And I told him back in November of 24 that I think about him every minute of every hour of every day of every week. And I wasn't lying to him. And to this day, he's just surface level. I mean, really right under my top layer of epidermis. Surface level. I think about him all the time. I talk to him all the time. God, I miss him. Tomorrow's gonna suck. Oh! I don't know if you saw that or heard it. There were 2 mourning doves that went by. Anyway, you guys have a good night. I'm gonna go in. See you later. Bye.